Joining us now from Perth, 6PR broadcaster Oliver Peterson. Welcome, Ollie. Let's get stuck into this now. Of course, this is massive news, the departure of Allied troops out of Afghanistan and, of course, Kabul, very much in the news. Now, there is an extraordinary photo that adorns the front pages of most of tomorrow's Australian newspapers. But I'm going to take you to the Courier Mail first, and then we'll work our way through it, Ollie. And as you can see, this is such a graphic photograph, and I love this headline. I think it really encapsulates the mood of what's going on right now in Afghanistan, and it is like Saigon on steroids. Kabul panic, troops fly out of Townsville in last-ditch bid to bring home the last Australians in Afghanistan. Australian troops, including 100 from Townsville, took off for Afghanistan yesterday to take part in the most dramatic international evacuation since the end of the Vietnam War. In a situation labelled by international aid groups as Saigon on steroids, thousands of troops from around the world are racing to Kabul to rescue their last remaining citizens in Afghanistan as the Taliban lays siege to the airport, its perimeter defended by 6,000 US troops. And if we go through some of these front pages, Ollie, you can see the gravity of this situation. Of course, that photograph that I refer to at Kabul airport, people trying to board a plane, and of course the US Embassy in Saigon in 75, which is the same sort of comparison. The Australian Operation Desert Them All. And we'll also have a chat, Ollie, about some of the commentary from people like Peter Jennings, who says the only thing worse than a forever war, as Biden called the Afghanistan conflict, is a forever defeat. Biden has delivered that. Your thoughts?
It just was heartbreaking, to be honest, Gleeson. That particular picture you talk about, which is across a number of the nation's newspapers tomorrow, it just makes you feel ill. What you would do in a desperate situation to scramble to try and get onto an aeroplane and escape the war-torn Kabul. It looks like there's people just trying to gate crash an aero bridge, really, and get onto a plane that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. I've seen vision as well of what looks like a US Army aircraft taking off and people just clinging on to that. It's just awful. It's just horrible, Gleeson, that we could be in this situation where late last week, I think US intelligence indicated it would be about 90 days before the Taliban was able to seize control of Kabul, and it happened in just 3 days. So, look, I think this is a big moment for the nation as well, Gleeson. So you think about somebody like, me, who's a 30-something-year-old and never dealt with war or never saw war really in my lifetime, and all of a sudden, once we saw those aeroplanes going to the Twin Towers in the United States, I still remember the moment my father woke me up to say, you better see what's happening on the TV. And this played out for the last 20 years. It's been through, I think 6 different Prime Ministers' reign here in Australia. We all thought we were going into Afghanistan first and foremost to find bin Laden and to destroy Al-Qaeda bases, returning, I think, in 2005 to help rebuild democracy. That was meant to be what we were doing. And now, as you mentioned, 39,000 Australian troops through Afghanistan, 41 sadly losing their lives. And many people on my talkback lines today on 6PR, Glee, so just wondering why we did it. Was it all worth it that the house of cards could fall so quickly in Afghanistan?
42 Australians lost their lives, perished in the battle to, try and prop up, in many cases, the Afghani people.